Welcome to my world. Come on in and make yourselves at home. Welcome to my life. I know everything's gonna be all right. Welcome to my world. Oh, won't you come on in? Welcome to my life. It's known as the Tiger's Den. Greetings to all of my subscribers. I want to thank you for being with me for as long as you have, and the new subscribers that's coming on in. We want to say greetings and thank you for your time. This is from Toothless and the moderators. Welcome to the Tiger's Den. In a mother's love, you will find everything. Everything's alright. To a mother's love, you are bound. You can rest on sacred ground. In a mother's love, you are free to dream, because she sees what you can be. In the mother's love, you see the sun, enough for two, but you're one. In the mother's love, you can feel something hurts. You can heal. Yes, a mother's love is real. You grow because she knows to let you go. Yeah, mama. Mama, mama, mama. Mother's love. Mother's love. Yeah. All right. A mother's love. And a mother's love never lies. She believes that you can fly with all of her might. A mother's love. Yay, mama. Welcome to the Tiger's Den. This is the voice of Cheryl, and I am Toothless Tiger. I want to say thank you, Nephi. Let me play it again. For the gift that keeps on giving, the gift of membership. I want to thank you guys all for being members, for being here. And let me acknowledge everybody before I get started. Starting with Maria, the #1 mod in all of moderation. Nephi, so Alicia, Asatar, Izetta. And you know you all are #1 in my heart. But Maria is certainly the #1 moderator. She works very hard. And she gives to us all, whoever she mods for, unconditionally. Whether she feels good, whether she's tired, after playing with the grandbabies, she does it all. And I appreciate that. Well, now we know that we're, what's today? Sundays on the couch with Toothless. And we're talking about affirmative action. We talked about how it started. We talked about when it started. We talked about the impact that it had. And then we talked about, of course, the abolishment of some of the affirmative action. And once you begin, then it starts trickling down. I'm going to be speaking tonight about the myths versus reality of affirmative action. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the Civil Rights Act, Title VII of 1964, which started it all. But I want to start out from the Sun Book, since it is Sunday. Most call it the Holy Bible. I grew up on this word. I hid it in my heart, and I also read it. I see things differently today, not the truth or the word. It's just the way I process it today. And I don't want anybody to get it twisted to think that we, as Asiatics, can be atheists. For it is but one God. And I believe that wholeheartedly. No matter if you call him God, Jehovah, Allah, Yahshua, Elohim, whatever you choose to call it, it's your thing. We're all individuals. And we have the right to believe what we choose, know what we research, because it is written, our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. My purpose for being on YouTube is to give knowledge and to help uplift fallen humanity. I have no other reason for being here other than to share me. My wisdom, not my knowledge, my thoughts, my opinions, real or imagined, they belong to me, and I share them. Take what you can use, throw the rest away, please. Add to it, because I too enjoy learning and can be taught. With that being said, let's start with scripture that I chose for tonight. Hopefully it'll make sense to you. Everything is relative for me. Asator, I love your new avatar and your thumbnails. Great job, Matt K did, as he always do. Beautiful job. And here we go. We're going to start with Ecclesiastes 9, 11, and 12. And of course, I'm a King James girl, so it'll be the King James version. It says, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. That's kind of the climate of today. A lot of people in that the race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but they always put another scripture that has nothing to do with that scripture at the end of the scripture. And so I gave it to you, Matthew 24 and 13. And this is Jesus talking. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. A lot of us repeat what we hear, and we don't study to show ourselves approved and to know what we're talking about. So I just want to help you out. Ecclesiastes says, 10:19, King James Version, a feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. That's a true statement, if you believe one. 1 Timothy 6:10 says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. We see that happening every day. So I just wanted to leave you with the word, since of course we're coming on a Sunday. I thought I'd give you some food for your soul, as well as some knowledge for your mind. And let's get into the knowledge. I guess I'll come on camera and say hello to everybody like I always like to do, so you'll know that it is me. I am here. I cut my hair. I got so tired of it, so I had to cut it. But I just want to come and say hello so you can see my face and we can get into the lesson. I'm so honored to have you guys here supporting me, and I thank you very much. And with that being said, let's dive into diversity, equality, and inclusion. That's what it's all about. Hokey pokey. Here we go. Here are some myths and reality as it relates to affirmative action. And I guess I'll share this with you guys and to show where it came from. If you want to do a little research on your own. And some people may think that this is not important. I think it's very important given the climate of today and how things are going. The myth: women don't need affirmative action anymore. Reality: though women have made gains in the last 30 years, they remain severely underrepresented in most non-traditional professional occupations, as well as blue-collar trades. Let me know, everybody, if you think the music is too loud. Let me know what you think. The U.S. Department of Labor's Glass Ceiling Commission Report, 1995, states that while white men are only 43% of the Fortune 2000 workforce, they hold 95% of the senior management jobs. In addition, women are only 8.6% of all engineers, less than 1% of carpenters, 23% of lawyers, 16% of police, and 3.7% of firefighters. White men are 33% of the U.S. population, but 65% of physicians, 71% of lawyers, 80% of tenured professors, and 94% of school superintendents. Myth. Under affirmative action, minorities and women receive preferences. Reality. Affirmative action does not require preferences, nor do women and minorities assume that they will be given preference. Race, gender, and national origin are factors that can be considered when hiring or accepting qualified applicants. Hiring qualified women and minorities is similar to the preferences given to veterans in hiring and to the children of alumni in college admissions. There are also other preferences used in selecting qualified candidates. For example, when private colleges and universities value geographic diversity on their campuses, an out-of-state student may be admitted before an in-state student. Some colleges and universities consider athletic abilities and/or evidence of leadership skills in addition to academic qualifications. Myth. Affirmative action is really quotas. Reality. Affirmative action provides women and minorities with full educational and workplace opportunities. Under existing law, quotas are illegal. Federal contractors are required to establish goals and timetables and to make a good faith effort to meet them. Race, national origin, and gender are among several factors to be considered. But relevant and valid job or educational qualifications are not to be compromised. Further, the Supreme Court has made clear that affirmative action or programs that claim to be affirmative action are illegal if, number one, an unqualified person receives benefits over a qualified one. Number two, numerical goals are so strict that the plan lacks reasonable flexibility. Number three, the numerical goals bear no relationship to the available pool of qualified candidates and could therefore become quotas. Number four, the plan is not fixed in length. Or number five, innocent bystanders are impermissibly harmed. Myth. Affirmative action leads to discrimination against white men. Reality. Evidence demonstrates that discrimination against white men is rare. For example, of the 91,000 employment discrimination cases before the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, approximately 3% are discrimination cases against white men. Further, a study conducted by Rutgers University and commissioned by the U.S. Department of Labor in 1995 found that discrimination against white men is not a significant problem in employment and that a high proportion of claims brought by white men are without merit. Affirmative action provides the employer with the largest pool of qualified applicants from which to choose. Myth. Affirmative action programs that aid the economically disadvantaged, i.e., needs-based programs, are enough to address discrimination. Reality. Women and minorities face discrimination as they climb the corporate ladder and bump up against the glass ceiling. For example, the U.S. Department of Labor Glass Ceiling Commission's report, 1995, states that while white men are only 43% of the Fortune 2000 workforce, they hold 95% of the senior management jobs. Affirmative action programs take positive, proactive steps to prevent discrimination at all levels of employment. Affirmative action based on need would fail to break down barriers that women and minorities experience in the workplace, especially at higher levels. Now, you used to hear people talk about the glass ceiling, and of course, everything that you say when you're speaking, most people say, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory. But here we have a glass ceiling report from the U.S. Department of Labor. So a lot of these things that we hear, if we don't investigate ourselves and arm ourselves with knowledge, then we will just brush them off. And we will be misused, abused, and left behind because we failed to do our due diligence in seeking knowledge. Remember, it is written, seek and you shall find. You got to seek it. You got to knock. You got to ask. You just can't assume that you're going to be taught or told. A lot of us, especially my age, 65, are coming off the Jim Crow era. So it's a lot of things that we don't know, we didn't know, and we didn't know we had the ability to learn because we didn't know we had a need to know. Everything pretty much done is done on a need to know basis. So sometimes you need to just be inquisitive and ascertain the information for yourself. Myth. Unqualified individuals are being hired and promoted for the sake of diversity and affirmative action. Reality. Only affirmative action plans that do not compromise valid job or educational qualifications are lawful. Plans must be flexible, realistic, reviewable, and fair. The Supreme Court has found that there are at least two permissible bases for voluntary affirmative action by employers under Title VII. Number one, to remedy a clear and convincing history of past discrimination by the employer or union. And number two, to cure a manifest imbalance in the employer's workforce. Thus, affirmative action programs are intended to hire the most qualified individuals while at the same time achieving equality of opportunity for all. Myth. Affirmative action does not have a place in government contracts. Reality. Congress has, in a bipartisan fashion, created federal procurement programs to counter the effects of discrimination that have raised artificial barriers to the formation, development, and utilization of businesses owned by disadvantaged individuals, including women and minorities. Only qualified businesses can participate in these procurement programs. Federal law establishes several overall national goals to encourage broader participation in federal procurement. 20% for small businesses, 5% for small disadvantaged businesses, and 5% for women-owned businesses. So you see, when you break it down, they don't have to say the race or the nationality. You know there is a difference by saying 20% for small businesses, 5% for small disadvantaged businesses, and then 5% for women-owned businesses. Now, we would fit in all of those categories, but there is a breakdown, and you must know what that means. The goals are flexible and reflect an aspiration, not a guarantee that they will be achieved. With these goals, women and minority-owned business have begun to expand opportunity for women and minority contractors. From 1982 to 1991, The dollar volume of federal contracts increased by 200% to women-owned firms and 125% to minority-owned firms. Even in trying to make it fair, it's still unfair and unjust because the percentages should be the same across the board. However, these programs are still needed because while minorities own almost 9% of all businesses and women own 34% of all businesses, together minorities and women receive only about 8.8% of the over $200 billion in federal contracts. $200 billion, 8.8% awards. Further, without these programs, the share of contracts to women and minority-owned businesses will fall drastically. For example, after the 1989 Croson decision invalidating the minority contracting program in Richmond, Virginia, the share of contracting dollars going to minority-owned firms in Richmond fell from 38.5% to 2.2%. And we actually don't believe that we need assistance, demand to be acknowledged and given an opportunity. And we wonder, how can people come from other countries and advance over us? This is how it's done. Myth. Title VII alone is sufficient to address discrimination. Hi, Regina M. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Reality. Affirmative action means taking positive, proactive, and preemptive steps to root out discrimination, rather than waiting for after-the-fact litigation. Title VII addresses discrimination, but it does so only after an instance of discrimination has been claimed. Affirmative action policies are a means to end discrimination in a far less costly and disruptive way than protracted litigation. Myth. Underrepresentation of minorities and women in the corporate world or other high-paying jobs is not due to discrimination. Reality. Discrimination is not the sole reason for the lack of women and minorities in the corporate world. However, we must deal with past and present discrimination. A study of the 1982 Stanford MBA graduating class found that in 1992, 16% of the men held CEO titles compared to 2% of the women. 23% of the men became corporate vice presidents, but only 10% of the women, while 15% of men served as directors compared to 8% of women. And when you hear them say women and men, do know that we are all excluded, those that are considered minors, the minorities. When we're included, they use that in the language. Hey, Phyllis, good to see you. Glad you made it in. Barriers to employment and promotion still exist for women and minorities. And that "and minorities" puts us in the counting. Affirmative action opens the doors to opportunity and advancement. Myth. The so-called earnings gap between men and women has closed significantly in recent years. Therefore, affirmative action is no longer needed to achieve pay equality. And that's equity. I just made that equality. That's equity. Reality. In 1993, the total amount of wages women lost due to pay inequity was nearly $100 billion. The average woman loses approximately $420,000 over a lifetime due to unequal pay practices. Working women still earn just over 70 cents for every dollar men earn. Much of this wage gap is due to the fact that women are still segregated into traditionally female-dominant jobs where wages are low. In 1993, 61% of all employed women worked in technical sales, service, and administrative support clerical positions, while only 28% of women worked in higher paying managerial and professional fields. Further, the pay gap exists even within the same occupation. In 86 occupations tracked by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, women earn 20 to 35% less than men. For example, female college professors earn 77.1% of male professors' wages. Women public relations specialists earn 76.7% of their male counterparts' wages. Women in securities and financial services earn 65.6% of men's wages. Myth. Most analyses that point to wage differentials between men and women do not take into account differences in hours worked and years of uninterrupted work experience between the sexes. Female earnings are depressed because women work, on average, fewer hours per week than men and have more interruptions over their working lives than do men. Reality. The wage inequities most often cited are based on Department of Labor and Census Bureau data on year-round, full-time workers who have a permanent attachment to the workforce. This data does not compare full-time male workers to part-time female workers, nor does it compare permanent workers to part-time and contingent workers. This information was obtained from the American Association of University Women. Now, those are some myths versus reality on affirmative action. And it spoke a lot about Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. Some might ask, what is Title VII of the Civil Rights Act? I know a lot of the individuals here on YouTube in this sector are under 50 years old. Many are in their late 30s, early 40s. Some are in their late 20s, early 30s. And if you're not being taught this information at home or in the schools, then you have no concept of how and why we're in the conditions in which we're in today. This YouTube social media platform should be a way for all of us to really obtain independent freedom. Unfortunately, we have a few individuals that see money, the love of money, and they want to rule everyone else out. So they play a lot of trickery and a lot of games, a lot of cons, and they call it content. It is not. There's no reason why all of us should not be succeeding, that it shouldn't be more people interested in what we have to hear. But we know everybody is not going to get it. Everybody don't want it. And we can't make them take it. But what we can do is keep sounding the alarm, because there are people that are coming up, and we're going to have people, because they're going to be there anyway, that are knowledgeable, that's going to run this country. Life is a cycle, and some of our cycles are coming to an end, and other cycles are beginning. So we must help each other while it's yet time. So now we want to take a look at What you need to know about Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. An overview of Title VII, including who it protects, what it prohibits, and the possible claims employees may attempt to pursue under it. This was written May 10th, 2022, and it comes from the legal Thomas Reuters, and some people say Reuters.com. Whether you are an employer or employee, you've likely heard about the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Few employment laws are as crucial as this one, particularly regarding allegations of workplace discrimination. But if you don't know this important legislation's specific details and nuances, don't worry, you're not alone. Fortunately, this article will cover some of the fundamental concepts of Title VII, including who it protects, what it prohibits, and the possible claims employees may attempt to pursue under it. So let's start with the basics. What is Title VII of Civil Rights Act, and what does it prohibit? Title VII is the federal law that prohibits employment discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, color, sex, including gender, gender identity, pregnancy, and sexual orientation. Many people are surprised to learn that most jobs in the U.S. are considered at-will employment. They are. At-will employment means that an employer can typically fire an employee for any reason they want, except an illegal reason, such as unlawful discrimination. And that's where Title VII of the Civil Rights Act comes in. And what that means is anybody can walk into their job any day of the week and say, just like their company can, this job is not a good fit for me, so I'm out. What they can't do is make up a reason to get rid of you. Then that gives you ground to fight. An employer cannot take an adverse employment action, such as firing, refusing to hire, demoting, refusing to promote, etc., against an employee or potential employee based on any of these protected characteristics. If they do, the employee might have, and I say might have, a discrimination claim. You may notice that age and disability aren't listed among the protected groups listed above, and that is because older workers and disabled workers are protected under different federal laws. The Age Discrimination in Employment Act and the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA and the ADA, respectively. It's also important to note that individual states may create their own discrimination laws that might protect a broader range of employees than any of these federal laws. So employers should also be aware of these laws. Phyllis said, not the love of money. Okay. Possible employee claims under Title VII. These are some claims you may be able to make. If an employee believes their employer has engaged in discrimination and other unlawful acts in violation of Title VII, there are several potential legal claims they may pursue, including disparate treatment. Disparate treatment is the most obvious form of employment discrimination. It occurs when an employer treats an employee or job applicant differently than other employees because of their race, color, religion, national origin, or sex, similar to laws in education. Disparate impact. This is when a seemingly neutral practice unduly impacts employees in a protected class, often unintentionally. For example, if employees must pass physical strength tests or meet a minimum height, requirements that appear neutral at first glance, it may still have a disparate impact on women or other protected groups. Assuming an employee can prove a disparate impact, the employer would be allowed to show that the policy is necessary for the position and that no alternative policy or requirement would work. Quid pro quo sexual harassment. Under Title VII, there are two main forms of harassment claims, which include sexual harassment in quid pro quo fashion and hostile work environment. Similar to fraud and security training, employers should have a policy in place for sexual harassment to protect and prevent other illegal activities like bribery. Retaliation. Title VII prohibits an employer from retaliating against employees or applicants when they assert their rights under the law, including when an employee files a Title VII discrimination charge, opposes an employer practice that violates Title VII, or testifies or participates in a Title VII investigation or proceeding. Negligence. A Title VII negligence claim usually involves instances in which co-worker gets an employee fired for discriminatory reasons by making negative or critical statements about the employee, and the employer knows or should have known the co-worker's discriminatory intentions. Remember, though, this is not an exclusive list of the potential claims an employer may face under Title VII. Not to mention, some employees may also attempt to bring additional claims under state law. Does Title VII apply to all employers? And I think this is the part that everybody should know when they think they may have a claim under Title VII. Simply put, Title VII does not apply to every employer. Let me say that again for those who may not understand. Simply put, Title VII does not apply to every employer. In fact, as a general rule, Title VII typically only covers private and public sector employers with 15 or more employees. These employees may include part-time employees, full-time employees, suspended employees, employees on leave or vacation. These are the Title VII employees that are covered under the basis that their employer, private or federal, employ 15 or more employees. You should know that this 15 employee requirement does not apply if the employer is the federal government. Also, even if an employer doesn't reach this 15 employee threshold, it doesn't guarantee they can't face employee discrimination claims, since state and local laws may have employees other options. So remember, under Title VII, it's 15 employees. But if they have state and local laws that may cover employers with employees under 15 employees, then there may be a chance that you have a chance at discrimination, but it won't be under the federal EEOC guise or rules. Are all employees protected under Title VII? The determination is usually pretty straightforward when it comes to who is and who is not protected employee under Title VII. In fact, Title VII defines an employee as simply an individual employed by an employer. Therefore, assuming they work or are applying to work for a covered employer as outlined above, Title VII provides discrimination protection for all employees, former employees, and those applying to be employees. However, there are some significant exceptions to this rule. For example, Title VII typically does not cover independent contractors, U.S. citizens who are working abroad for a non-U.S. controlled business, foreign nationals who are working abroad for U.S. controlled businesses. Not to sound like a broken record, but it's always important to remember to check state and local laws, since they may have additional discrimination protections beyond what Title VII provides. Staying compliant with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. Compliance and understanding start with an in-depth analysis of the law and what it means to both employers and employees. If you want more information about Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, try the resources available in Practical Law Today. The content appearing on this website is not intended as and shall not be relied upon as legal advice. It is general in nature and may not reflect all recent legal developments. Thomson Reuters is not a law firm, and an attorney-client relationship is not formed through their use of this website. You should consult with qualified legal counsel before acting on any content found on this website. And I have a disclaimer of my own that I wrote. This information, when provided from other articles and things of that nature, comes under the fair use disclaimer. I'm taking this down because I'm trying to stop hearing it. The content creator is using the copyrighted material under Section 107 of the Copyright Act for Fair Use Doctrine. All videos, songs, images, and graphics used in the video belong to their respective owners, and I or this channel does not claim any right over them. All opinions belongs to the speaker and not those of YouTube or any of their affiliates. And that is from Toothless Tiger. So now I was able to cover these subjects in 1 hour. And it is very important that we understand just how, why, when, what we got ourselves into, and how we as individuals can help get ourselves out. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is key. If you do not educate yourself as to how and why, when, where, what, You could very well find yourself in a situation that you don't know how to get out of. And it can impact your living, your livelihood, your family. That's why I came to share what I share. Because we as a people have got to do better. And I made that statement on a Facebook post, and I was talking about Cat Williams at the time. Some young man was telling all the great things he's done, and I just said, we got to do better, people. And some person said, and so does he. And that really, really angered me, because the thing is, when I say we, that's all inclusive. That's all of us. No matter how good we think we are, we still got to do better. No matter what we think we know, there's still more to learn. But if you can't stand in your integrity and walk in it, then you'll find yourself like a lot of people that's on this app, destroying each other's lives as opposed to building. This is an opportunity really for all of us, whether you have a high school diploma, whether you have a college degree, whether you didn't even finish elementary, you could get on this YouTube, IG, Facebook, and whatever app that's available, Pinterest, whatever, it's so many now. And you can literally make an honest living up to 6 to 8 figures. People have done it. It's according to what you put into it. It's what you will get out of it. And some people may never support you. That shouldn't be your goal. Your goal should be whatever purpose that you purpose in your heart to come to the web and share what you have to give. They may not be looking for it today, but I'm a firm believer that one day, many people will be looking for these type videos, because we're going to need it. If we just look at our living conditions right now, I believe so many people are unemployed, underemployed, dealing with emotional trauma that they haven't dealt with before. And so they come here, they say, in the name of entertainment. But what they're practicing is the same unhealthy behaviors that they live in their everyday lives and that they're running from. That's one woman's opinion. Whether it's true or false, I don't know. But I see more destruction than I see humor. And humor is supposed to be good for the bone. It's like medicine. But we don't have an occasion to laugh. We have a man that called me a child predator who's been accused of being that type of predatory person with 2 women. And one woman came out and exposed the behavior that made it 2 women. And that was the topic of conversation for 5 minutes. And now it's just gibberjash and water under the bridge, and we dare not talk about that. And what was most disturbing is the lady also, said that this person had a minor that was in the background making noise that was of an intimate nature. That's disturbing. And then there's a son who wants to terminate the little sister. That's disturbing. And this person made these accusations, real or false, I don't know. But they actually did that. And everybody was so interested. And the next thing I know, we're just doing content and we're going to forget about this. But we've had many of people in this sector have CPS called to their homes and talking to their children and their spouses. And it's so very unfortunate that everything is supposedly entertainment, but yet nobody's really being entertained. Oh, you can laugh at somebody else's pain because it's not you. But when it happens to you, I guarantee you, these are not laughable moments. They're not at all. And there are conversations that need to be had. And again, I know everybody's not going to get it, and everybody doesn't care, and everybody don't know each other. I realize that, but it's amazing how everybody becomes psychiatrists and psychologists and therapists and social workers and, all of this good stuff. But yet they're destroying one another. Everything that could be said about me has been said. The doxing has been done. And they could continue. I have no problem with that. I know when you stand for something, you often stand alone. And you have to stand in your truth, nobody else's. And I press toward the mark to continue to put the word out to my people. Whether they want to hear it today or not, I guarantee you the day is coming where some, if not all, will be searching for that. What did she say happened? And what are you supposed to do when? I'm not an attorney. I don't practice law. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I've lived 65 years and I've experienced some life. And I live life abundantly. Poor as I am in material things, I live an abundant life in my peace, my knowledge, my ability to give, to assist, to love, and to be loved, to learn, sometimes even to be wrong. One thing I know, we all fall short of other people's expectations, and sometimes even our own. I am guilty. Sometimes even our own. But I promised myself when I decided to come to YouTube, to come to uplift, at least assist fallen humanity in what way that I could. And that's through my knowledge and my life experiences. And that's what I share. And some of this stuff I'm learning along the way, and I share it because we need to know. One of the things that we were not afforded is the opportunity to learn the true politics of the land. And a lot of times we get caught up in our emotions. I just did a couple of days ago, a video of a first in Congress. Our Honorable Eddie Bernice Johnson. And she retired last year in 2022, not 2023. And unfortunately, she was allowed to be in a hospital and get an infection, which terminated her life. Had some of the best insurance that money could buy, but it didn't help her. Had the most prestigious title, the Honorable Congresswoman, serving over 30 years in the U.S. Congress. Nobody talks about it. But we get outraged when they give us the topic to talk about. We allow other people to choose what we get angry at and for how long we stay angry, as opposed to just being an individual and looking at things that are right and that are wrong, that we've been taught right and wrong, and stand for it. Oftentimes people can't stand or don't want to stand for fear of being uncovered. But we all, again, fall short of other people's expectations and even our own. So there's going to always be something that somebody can find out that you're probably not proud of. That's life. You can't change it to save your life. But what you can do is live life as transparent as possible. That's what you can do. You don't have to tell everybody everything. You don't. That's not what life is all about. You share what you will. It is your choice. I am truly grateful for you all coming every Wednesday and every Sunday to allow me the opportunity to speak to a live audience. Sometimes I feel like making videos, sometimes I don't. But I'm true to what I came to do. And I will continue to do that, no matter who comes. I've just been blessed with some faithful people who believe in what I'm saying, and they believe in me. And you guys don't know how that feels. As an individual who gets up here and give their all, it means a lot. And I'm truly grateful. I'm grateful for the memberships. I didn't think I would ever get to the membership stage. Yet I have members that have been faithful members for 16 and 15 and 14 months. I mean, my members have been here ever since I've had memberships. And that's an awesome thing. I'm learning more and more about YouTube policies, guidelines, because sometimes I have issues, and I never started having issues, I thought, until I started getting all the flags when all the people were against me. But now I'm still getting the yellows, and I'm understanding more and more. It's more with what's happening throughout YouTube. And one of the reasons most of us are getting yellows from my videos is the way we rate them, I'm finding out, because of a lawsuit that they lost with the Federal Trade. And it has to do with the Children's Act and the information that the children can get a hold to and the protection of children. And so some of it comes in the way in which you mark your videos, but everyone has to choose whether their video is for children or for not. And as I was reading that, I was thinking, well, maybe they all should be for children because mine are marked for not for children. And as I read what for children meant, then no, it should not be marked for children. When you're marking for children, you have to be careful in what you're marking for children. And so what I saw, when you mark your video for children, then they will restrict your comments and your personalized ads, your info cards, and your end screens. So it doesn't do you any good to be monetized. But when you mark for children, they're going to put them more likely besides children videos. So then you ask yourself, do you really want this marked for children? No, you do not. They said that anytime you mark it for children, you won't have stories, community tab, or notification bell. And they restrict those features to follow the law. That's why they do that. So these are factors that you must consider when you're considering if it's made for children. Is the subject matter of the video, if children are the intended audience, if it includes child actors or models, if it includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children, if it uses language that is meant for children to understand, if it includes activities that appeal to children, if it includes songs, stories, or poems that appeal to children. And so when you look at that, you have to ask yourself, is that what your video is about? And no is the answer. Although my information is worthy of a child learning, because that's who we need to teach the children, but the video within itself is not geared toward children, and they consider what they call a child under 13. So no one under 13 is going to come on their own volition. And I'm sure it may be some, but the majority will not. So I want to know about affirmative action, or why black women are being treated as if they're not human. So I had to change that back to not made for kids. And then I have to just give the best product and the best service that I can give, in hopes that YouTube will then push the video forward. But my videos are based on whosoever will, let them come. But those that are interested, come, and those that are not, it's okay. Regina said, come on now, Toothless. Keep speaking wisdom in our history. Precious gems. Yeah, I must keep doing it. It's my purpose. I realize that I was created for worship. What does that mean? It means to me to give what I have developed in my brain, to share it with somebody else, in hopes that it will help them be a better them. Not because I said it, but perhaps because they didn't know it, and I was able to share it. I do what I can to help individuals, and most of my help comes in way of advocacy. I don't mind sharing my knowledge. And again, I don't give legal advice. I don't tell people what to do and how to do it. But I read and I research and I share what I've learned. There are so many things that we should be doing. When we hear self-help, that means you have to be a participant in whatever happens to you. The self must be a part of it. You cannot rely on somebody else to deliver you to righteousness. They may be going through their own personal struggles, and their profession is to help you. And so you think you're employing. I was looking at the other day, the lead attorney, and some of the things I heard him say come out of his mouth was just shocking, about how they don't care. And now he's free because he's doing YouTube. And I believe he was a good attorney. He said he was. He charged astronomical figures. He tell you, don't contact him for a consultation. They start at $600 an hour. And then he sell master classes and different things that you can learn about becoming a YouTuber. So that's the ingenuity of a person, to be able to take their skills and knowledge and abilities and make it work for them monetarily. A lot of people support those channels. When I heard him saying fuck the people and all of this, they were giving him hundreds of dollars in super chats, 50s. But he was being authentic. He was being himself. And then the people had it to give. We live in a time where everybody pretty much are struggling just to survive. Not all people, but most. I don't either, Isetta, but I saw him the other day. He was talking about Tasha K and her monies that were found. No, I don't enjoy him, but that was a great show, I think. It taught me a lot. He has the look. And one of the things that you must have is the look. And he's not necessarily a handsome guy, nor is he ugly, because beauty, of course, is in the eye of the beholder. But he has the polished professional look. He does have that. And there are so many people that is on this YouTube that I've, branched out and just start looking at different content creators and how they do their content and what their content is all about. So many different ways, and there's no reason on earth that we all shouldn't be more successful than we are. We all came together in the guise of helping our community. Yet we're all, and I'm including me because I'm a part of the community. I don't do the things that the people do. I didn't come here to do the things that the people do. But I am a part of the people. Tearing each other down. Sharing private information. Public private, let's say that. Because they love to remind you that it is public information. Yeah, but it's not on YouTube. You had to go find that information from a public site to share it with people who need not know any of the stuff that we know about a lot of things. But that's one woman's opinion. And since it's YouTube, you can do it any way you choose to do it. I don't judge people. I just talk about them. I really don't have nowhere for you to go, and I can't stop you from going anywhere. That's not my stick. You see, I believe I am the star on my stage. And not only do I believe that, I know it. And I know it's enough sky out there for every star to shine. You just got to want it. And then you do whatever it takes to get it. And when we say by any means necessary, we don't mean to destroy one another. Self-destruction has been our problem. And there are systems in place to make us think and act in the manner in which most of us choose to think and act. But it is a choice. We do have a choice to do right by everybody, namely yourself. We do have a choice to learn these truths to help us be better people. We have a choice. The question becomes, what will you choose? Right or wrong? I have a video to teach you the difference between legal and lawful. There is a difference. A lot of us have forgotten some of the things we learned in elementary school. The ability to write, using grammar properly, using the 8 parts of speech properly. A lot of us have forgotten that. Some of us never were taught because we didn't grasp it. And we were too ashamed or embarrassed to let the teacher know. Some of us dummied ourselves down just so that we could belong. I've never been that person. Never been that person. Never been the sharpest tool in the toolbox, but I was in the toolbox doing my thing. Learning and giving along the way. And I'm the same today. I also learned it doesn't take all night to teach a subject, to share a life experience. It doesn't take all of that. Sometimes the information may be a little longer than others. But I want to thank everybody for their likes, their comments. And sometimes when you think about it, just go back sometimes if you would and comment on a video if you liked it, if you didn't like it, what the problem was. Hi, green hair, how you doing? I cannot get your name right. Nanzaker, I think that may be it, but I think I probably messed it up. So, I'll just say green-haired lady. Good to see you. But there is a war being waged. And unless we understand who the real enemy is, we're going to keep self-destructing. We're going to keep putting each other down for no reason. It's very important that we learn that we've all we got as humans. Family is everything, and the attack is on the family, and especially ours. Laws are in place. I've shared them. I will continue to share them. And I know that there is no personal war being waged against me with YouTube. I know that their rules are changing, and I need to learn more about the rules so that I can fit within those guidelines. They told me if I do what I love, I'll never work again. And any monies will come. Any donations will come. Or they won't. But what I do, I love doing. And I will continue to do it until I just can't do it anymore. Or until YouTube say no. I will continue to share. Asatar asks everybody if they would please hit the like button. Don't forget, because he forgets a lot. Asatar has a channel and they have it here in the chat. And I'm going to take on Asatar's, the way he does it. Green Hair is in here, and I know Green Hair has made a video or so about me, but Green Hair, for the most part, I really enjoy some of your work. If y'all could find Green Hair's YouTube channel and drop the link, anybody that has a page, it's all about us doing what we do. Regina said a lot of people have forgotten or never been taught human decency, morals, respectfulness, integrity, courtesy, self-love, being of service to others, helping others, and expecting nothing in return. Yeah, they really have. Green Hair, Asatar says that you have him blocked. And that's so very true, Regina. I think some were never taught. I honestly do. Just by the way these people act, because the majority of these people are between what I've been able to tell by everybody talking to one another. All of them are my son's age. So I'd lived at least 23 years before most of these people were born. And the way they talk and act and treat each other and me. And then they're always talking about the older women are so terrible. Not everybody with age is not terrible. And people are doing what they do because they think that that's what they're supposed to do. They're adults. That is impressive. I want to thank you all for 22 likes. Because I've never seen over 10 people. Well, I've seen maybe up to 13 people in the chat. So I greatly appreciate you guys in the bushes, in the trees, on the beach, on the boat, on the cruise ship, wherever you may be, at home, in between the game. Nephi, I'm so very happy to see you. I know that your people has been suffering. And I'm so glad to know that you're okay. And Majestic. I saw him, I think it was in Asatar's chat. Or maybe it was Shug's. But I was so happy to see you guys. And to know that you all are all right. No, we don't know each other, people. But we do meet some very nice people. Just like we've met some mean ones. We've met some nice people here. And we don't have to hang out to have respect, honor, and love one for another. A lot of people use those words loosely, but they really mean something. And your actions, that behavior, tells who and what you are. Asatar said it was my check. I don't know what that means. It was my check. Unless you're talking about your check with the 22 likes. Thank you so much. It's supposed to be Jaleel? Jaleel? Oh, okay, I saw Majestic in your chat. Okay. Yeah, it was good to see him. And I used to love those way out. I don't know where he get those characters for those posts, but he come up with some of the most funny, awesome community posts. Thank you so much. Y'all forgive me. I used to be a stickler for words. And really, I would correct you in a heartbeat, but I swear I mess up more words today than I ever have in my life. I think I mess up more words now than I was messed up when I was learning words. I don't know. And say reality, I'm in jail. Whatever it is, it's catchy. And thank you very much. I appreciate it. Because I won't fold. I won't change. And you can't shame me off of YouTube. I came here toothless. Because I chose to. Paid $1,800 for some teeth a year before I came here. Had I known that, I wouldn't have done it. But it is what it is. I cut my hair every chance I get. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Every chance I get, because I started going bald in the top. I don't know if it was my medications, what was happening with my life. I don't know what it was. Hey there, Dark Knight. Good to see you. But we may not believe it. We're in a crisis. We don't know who we are. We don't know who we want to be. We let people tell us who we are and who we ought to be. We refuse to learn. We won't teach the young. But we say the children are our future. How can that be? What do our future really look like? We get angry at the wrong thing. We team up against the wrong people. And we all have that right. We really do. But I started this day off with scripture. Because I think it's much needed, and that's what we all grew up on. You take and do with it what you will. There's plenty truth written in the Sun Book. There's a lot of allegory. There's a lot of parables. You have to discern. When I do something off the beaten path, or when I feel real stupid about something that I've done, I hear my son as we have conversations, and he shared with me discernment, Mama. You have to use discernment. I hear him all the time talking in my head, because we really have conversation. I hear people laughing and talking about children not being around, and children don't love them. But you know, when your child get a certain age, they kind of like you guys, because y'all all the same age pretty much, develop their own lives. And then they start new traditions. You know, because most people have some type of family tradition. And some of the people traditions is people are never there for them. So they don't know how to be there for other people. You can hear the self-hatred on this YouTube. No matter how intelligent a person may sound or pretend to be, you can hear how they hate themselves. So you can't expect much different. And I know they hate authority. I represent that. Just being 65. They think I should have my old ass in the bed sleep. Or somewhere in the corner preparing to meet him. But these people are funny. And I hope most of them get to be where I am. 65. It's an honor and a privilege, seeing that we don't control the minute, the hour, the second that the angel comes to visit. We don't control that. All we can do is live our best lives. And living your best life doesn't mean always what you think it means. When someone controls the water that's tainted, the air that's tainted, the ground that's tainted, when you have food deserts and you have a large number of people that are not being fed nutritionally, when you have doctors telling you that you don't have an issue, you just think you're hurting, you just think you have a problem, you don't know because you didn't go to medical school. When you have attorneys telling you, just take a plea bargain, don't you fight for your right, no matter if you're innocent, they're going to think you're guilty, so you need to plead. Don't you go before the judge. Don't you choose a jury of your peers, because you know you have no peers on the jury pool, because most of you all are on probation and most of you all can't serve. And then those of you that are not, don't want to serve, you step back and you say, no, don't choose me. Don't choose me. I don't want to go. I got a baby at home. Yeah. We're in trouble. And we blame everybody but ourselves. And I promise you, it's enough that we can blame. But you got to put yourself in the equation and ask, what is my part? What did I do or did not do that could make my life a little bit better? Regina said, we all know that this is the internet and what the internet gives. Good, bad, and sometimes dark. However, the people may give false narratives and personas. Whatever is within people, it will show fruit. Tell the truth, Regina. Regina to me is like a Buddhist monk, a sensei, if you will. Well knowledge. And she shares it. He shares it. And I'm going to say she because her name Regina. So I'm not going to make Regina be no he. And she shares it freely. And it really, really is an aid and a blessing to anyone's pet. And I'm so honored that she chooses to share the time that she has in mine. Because she's always multitasking, so I know she's busy. But she does not hesitate when she has an opportunity to come in and share with us. Well, it sure makes it good when I get to read that knowledge, that truth that cuts like a knife. He reminds us, everybody ain't gonna get it, and everybody ain't coming, and everybody don't want it. And it's just like a man or a woman, or both, whatever the relationship may be, trying to make someone love, honor, and respect you. And you know, people love to say that you may not like me, but you're gonna respect me. I demand it. Respect is not demanded. It's given. People choose to give it. And if people choose to disrespect you, then it's up to you to leave their presence. No one owes you nothing. Oh, yes, ma'am, I know you are. It ain't no doubt in my mind. And I swear we don't have to do pronouns here, because I truly know that's true. Just like I am. And, you know, they call me everything but that. But it's all good. In the neighborhood, when you know who you are, you don't have to spend your time trying to convince nobody. Because guess what? They know who you are too. They can't own up to it, but they know. And that's why they try to destroy it. Because of the power that we hold. And I'm not talking about being no boss chick and all that. I'm talking about the power of life. You see, that's the secret. And no nation can rise higher than they view its women. And that's why we have all of this disarray going around. Everybody's turning on everybody. You can't even get upset about these people and their craziness on this level. Such a low level of numbers of subscribers is what I'm talking about. Not low level of people. The number of subscribers. Because you see people with million subscribers are now going at it back and forth. That's the nature of the beast. Everybody is trying to make money. But as I started this video, I shall end it with the scriptures that I started out with. I hope you guys will go back if you missed some of it and catch the information on affirmative action, the myth and reality of it, and Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I will be going back talking about us women. I have a very good series, Unshackling Black Motherhood. Shackles on my feet. Whoa, shackles on my feet. Yeah, they need to be let loose. Regina say, hurt people, hurt people. God forgive them, for they know not what they do. And I'd like to put a caveat on that because my brother shared this with me in a conversation we had, and we talked about we've all been hurt. Generally, hurting people hurt people. And not all hurting people hurt people, but that's generally hurting people hurt people. And they care not what they do. And so we would ask that they be forgiven, or that we have the capacity to forgive. And because you forgive someone does not mean you have to associate with or affiliate with. You just have a different view of that person. And it keeps you in check. And it keeps you looking at yourself. Because some of this terrible behavior is really a good sight to see, because it teaches you how you don't want to be. And then it checks you if you see yourself going off into those spaces and those places. You know, it's called checks and balances. And that's where most humans have a problem. They can give it, but they can't receive it. They pretend they're intellectual and adult, but they're so very immature. Some may be illiterate. Most know enough how to treat somebody because they know how they want to be treated. It's not hard to know how to treat somebody. We don't have to have all these sensitivity trainings that these people keep telling us every time somebody mess up, they need a sensitivity training. No, they do not. They need to think about how they want to be treated. They need to know that a man was around this entire internet calling everybody that they could a pedo, a predator editor, and all these type titles, a child predator. But yet this man's behavior seems to be predatory in nature, because two women told a very telling story. One said that the other person's story was so eerily the same as theirs that they would love to have a conversation. And then the other told that there was a little child in the background, 5 years old, making noises of an intimate nature that no child should be making, while she's having conversations with the child's father. And then the son, at the age of 9 or 10, I don't know the age, running around saying that he wants to terminate his sister. And that should be something concerning, especially all of the things that this man has said about other men's children here on this place. But no one seems to think that's a topic of discussion that should be had. Instead, we want to play games and destroy one another. Yet we protect. And that's kind of like it is in the family. I don't know if any of you had the opportunity to see the second part of chapter 7 of Toxic Parents that I just completed. And I'll be completing the rest of the chapters. But it's very interesting how people protect the predator, make up excuses for them. The only reason I don't put a name on it is because I don't give these people credence with names. We know who they are. If you know anything about this place, you know who they are. And if you don't know, I suggest that you just go start looking. But I dare not give them any shine. Because that's what I learned putting a name on it. I can tell you they have way more subscribers and people in their chats than I do. But I yet am the topic of a derogatory conversation. So I don't put names on dastardly people. One of them I call a dog crusher. The other a hermaphrodite. Those two women are two women. Two Asiatic women with the same story. And then one kind of lied on the other. Because the first one never, ever, ever said that she was R-worded. She never said that. At least she never said that to me, and I never heard her say that publicly. I heard other people lie and say that. And I did not tell the story. But, I'm accused of everything that's wrong on YouTube in this sector. But I guarantee you, I stand on my square. I don't know nothing about all these people standing on business. I don't even know if they know what business is. If they did, they probably would mind their own and assist somebody else in theirs. But we're not about assisting. We're about degrading, hurting, laughing at other people's pain in the name of entertainment. But yeah, I'm in jail. If you know anything about this sector, you should know who these players are. And if you don't, again, I suggest that you go and start looking at some of the titles of some of these videos, and then look at the videos. It's written to give honor to whom honor is due. You can't honor these people because they're not honorable. And I'm not talking about all. I'm talking about most. The people I honor: Asatar, Maria, Brian, So Alicia, Regina, Izetta. People that support me, Nafai. People that has been here for me. My little old nephew, Longhead. Phyllis, my sister. Dark Knight. These people I honor, and I will gladly shout their names. Regina M. from the rooftop. I honor these people. And there's those that have come and gone, and they still come, and I honor them because they honor me. But I don't honor the honorless. And just because I don't call your name, don't necessarily mean you're honorless. It's just not necessary. Anybody that means something to me, Shug, I don't think I called his name, but he does. But anybody who means something to me, they know who they are. Life is all about helping others and gaining understanding through your own journey in order to do so. That's so very true. You see, I'm in jail. I've been accused of everything but being who I am. But I am who I say I am. And I change it not. I get better. But when I say I change it not, I don't change my morals, my values, my standards, my truth, my honesty, my power. I stand on my square. Don't care who like it and who does not like it. Don't judge people. I don't have nowhere for nobody to go. I'll talk about your good, bad, or indifferent. That's who I am. What happened to me was what I call the Jesus syndrome. I done nothing to nobody, but everybody turned on me for one body. That body has since turned on most of them one at a time. And a lot of them keep running back. So some people are glutton for punishment. Because again, a lot of people grew up in the crack era. And I think they missed a lot of teaching, home training, solid foundation. So you got to build on a foundation that's solid. At least you build your house on the sand, and the rain and the wind and the waves from the water will come and wash your foundation away. And without a foundation, you can't do anything but fall. I don't know nobody's situation other than what they share. And many have shared a lot. Many are in a lot of pain on this app. This is supposed to be YouTube, all about you, whoever you are. It seems like more or less plenty of fish. I've heard of that. I've never been there, but I've heard of it. What is the matchmaking set? And then everybody come back and divulge the secrets, the photos, the texts, the pillow talk. As if it's cute or funny. It's neither. Downright disgusting, disrespectful, distasteful. But you see, I like to try to help people understand them. Because I see a lot of people really don't know who they are. And don't have a clue of what's going on in the world around us. There's so many things we could be helping each other with. But it ain't about that dollar, so don't nobody care. Not knowing that there is no real money. No one, I believe, that we know possess silver and gold. Especially at our level. We don't have any. Some people collect coins. Some people do. But I'm telling you, many of us are worried about the wrong things and destroying each other for the wrong reasons. And as I said, we can do better. We should do better. All of this black power that everybody keeps talking about, I guess it's to destroy one another. Because there is no unity in our community. And then we wonder why gentrification takes place. We wonder why they burn us out. We wonder why they don't take care of the properties that we rent. And then they put us out. And then hold us responsible for what they didn't do for us. We wonder why. Many of people on here I've heard got college degrees. And I would venture to say they have some serious student loan debt. Some, of course, could have made it on academics. Some could have been sports. I don't know. But I'd venture to say they have more debt than they have salary. Because that's the way it seems to go for us. So again, I'm going to get ready to close, and I'm going to close with the scripture that I opened with. Since it is Sunday, and I'm coming from the Sun Book, King James Version, Ecclesiastes 9, 11 and 12, King James. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Ecclesiastes 10 and 19. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. That's scripture. And then you go on over to 1 Timothy 6 and 10. And the author says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. And we see that every day here in the metaverse on YouTube. So I want to say, everybody, have a beautiful night. I thank you guys for coming and sharing your time with me. It is truly an honor and a pleasure. And again, I thank you for the Cash App that I received and the special gifts. And I want to say thank you to everybody. I'll be closing out with one of my beautiful songs, and that is The Greatest Love. And on that note, I am leaving the Tiger's Den. Everybody, have a beautiful, beautiful beginning of the week. And I'll see you soon. Wednesday, 8:15 p.m. Central Standard Time in the Tiger's Den. Regina says, show ideas. I will DM you, Toothless Tiger. Okay, 2024 is presidential election time. And recently a comment was made by N. Haley, that's Nikki Haley, on the USA never experienced racism. I understand where she got it. Okay, that sounds good. I appreciate that. And we will do. Thank you, Dark Knight. Not me, Asatar. Justice for CJ. I think I'll play CJ first, and then I'll play. And so anybody that stays, I appreciate it. And anybody that must go, I understand. Let me hit my beautiful song in honor of CJ. In case anybody doesn't know who CJ is, it's a young man that was murdered. And I don't know if that's an appropriate word to say, but it is what happened to him. And the people that are responsible are still walking free because of the law of parties. The law of privileges, excuse me. And the law of privilege says if a husband and a wife have any type of issue, they cannot be compelled to testify against one another. And the wife confessed, but the wife didn't do the actual deed. and the wife cannot be compelled to testify against the husband, so therefore they're free due to the law of privilege. And this young man at 22 years old lost his life. Okay, thank you, Regina Merck. And therefore, his mother, who grieves his transition, feels there is no justice, and there is no justice that have been done for her son, and she can have no peace. But the law is what it is, and it's state law as well as federal law, and nobody can do anything about it unless they change the laws of privilege for couples. Because the law of privilege is also the law that allows your doctor to keep your conversations privileged, and your attorneys, your pastor. Unless, of course, you're talking about doing something that could harm the public at large. There's so much we don't know, and we need to know, and we can know if we try to know. But everybody does not want to know. So I thank all of you that want to know, that joins me and keep me fueled. You guys keep me fueled and keep me wanting to be here for you. So we're going to end with Justice for CJ, and then The Greatest Love. And that will be the end of the show. I'm leaving the Tiger's Den. Good night. Justice for CJ, a son, brother, father, uncle. Up drove the hearse Cadillac. A crowd of people gathered around, all dressed in black. And as they removed his body from the car, such pain she never knew had filled her heart. It happened on an early Saturday morning, when the noise from the phone really disturbed her. She wasn't too sure at first just what the caller meant, when they informed her that there had been an incident. Why, oh why, the sound of a mother's cry as she gathered herself and wiped the tears from her eyes. Somebody asked who was the next of kin. But oh Lord, it was the beginning of her end. March 17th, 2018. CJ will forever be 22 years young. Justice for CJ. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us who we used to be. Everybody searching for a hero, People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my needs. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I failed, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. And if by chance that special place that you've been dreaming of takes you to a lonely place, find yourself in love. Let me give you guys a bonus song because it's definitely apropos to the topic tonight. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Some people will sell you out. Do you know what I'm talking about? Some people tell jokes of dirt. They don't care who feelings they hurt. I was told from times of old, the game's to be sold and not told. If you don't know what I'm talking about, hang around YouTube and you will find out about that mean, oh mean, mean green, almighty dollar, cash money. Well, people don't let money, don't let money change you. Almighty dollar, cash money. People don't let money, don't let money change you. Almighty dollar, they just keep on scamming and scamming everybody. Check them out, scamming and scamming everybody. I tell y'all, people don't let money, don't let money change you. Money, 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 money. Money,